This is Sports Drive.
All right, welcome back into Sports Drive, everybody. Joining us now, the head coach of the Canyon Lady Eagles girls golf team, Coach Ricky Guy. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time and coming on the show.
It's an honor to talk to you today. I'm sorry I've kind of delayed you a little bit on getting back to you, but it's a pleasure to be here.
No, you're all good, Coach. You're all good. I do want to just congratulate you, too, on being named the Region 1 Girls 4A Coach of the Year for golf just in the past couple weeks here. If word came in that you were received that honor, obviously we've talked about it a number of times, just how impressive the job is that you've done in helping that program at Canyon get to the level it's been at right now, obviously making that first state appearance this past year. Just talk to me a little bit about how nice it is to be recognized, a little bit for what you've done to help those girls at Canyon and everything you've kind of poured into golf in this area.
Well, I'll say right off the bat, it was a nice honor that I wasn't really expecting. It's any coach that's in any sport that they're coaching. It's we all know you got to have the kids. You have to have kids that are dedicated, kids that are willing to work, 24/7 and put their hearts into it. And that's what I've inherited down at Canyon. I've got girls and guys both that want to get better, and they work at it every day. And the fruit of the labor is going out there and performing each day and trying to get better to get ready for tournaments. And my goal is to try with my experiences, as a player myself and being a coach for the last 40 years, I just want to try to direct them and try to give them the inside of what's, how to course manage on the course and make good decisions on what they're doing, on the course. And before we play, make sure we have a game plan of what we're going to try to do and accomplish.
Absolutely, Coach. And, I know even during the summer, you just mentioned to me before we got on the air that you were just out watching some of your girls competing in the North Texas Junior PGA event over at Amarillo Country Club. Can you talk to me a little bit about what that is, what the day was like out there and who you got competing and how they did?
Well, I had about 4 or 5 girls playing in that tournament today, and I had 2 or 3 boys that were participating. And I really highly recommend at the end of our golf season, these kids get signed up and they play in these North Texas PGA tournaments. It only makes them better if they're competing and playing against other players and learning how to get the tournament jitters out, how to go out and compete and learn how to compete in tournaments. And I noticed, today out there was quite a few Amarillo kids playing, players at Tascosa, Amarillo High. And when I see those kids out there putting their hearts into it to try to get better, it only carries over into the fall and into the spring. And, those dividends will pay off for us. That's why I encourage all my kids to be out there playing, in all these tournaments. And they're doing it. The boys are too. I've got 2 or 3 boys that were out there playing today. I hadn't seen their final results. I did notice that one of my girls, Gracie Sutton, that was district medalist the last 2 years, shot 78 today. That's a good score on Amarillo Country Club. Amarillo Country Club is a tough course. If you can't keep it in the fairway out there, you're going to shoot a big number because that rough is tough at AC. But I'm excited to see them out there, going at it and playing. And most of them don't just play here. I've got like the Lauren Robinson, let's see, Chloe Stenberg will play all over the state. They'll play down in Dallas area. Some of them go east to west, and I'm excited they're doing that because that's what it takes to have a successful team and a program is that the kids continue playing. You can't be a seasonal player anymore in any sport. Basketball, football.
Absolutely, and it must be interesting a little bit to from the standpoint of the time that typically we consider golf season here in the summer is the exact time that school comes out. So it must be an interesting dynamic to where, you do have to have players that are committed because this is the best time to kind of get better and get out on the courses, and it correlates with the time that they're kind of away from school, and there is more onus on them to kind of take the reins of that and take the reins of their game. So it must be kind of difficult as a coach to end that spring season and then say, all right, you guys, it's time for you guys to go off and improve on your own to some extent. And I imagine that's why you kind of have that desire to be as around as much as you can.
Yes, and the thing that I like about what you just touched on is these tournaments that they play in, these are all individual. Yeah. These are just like any professional tournament type players. This is not a team deal now. It's individually, how you stack up and how you play against, girls your age, guys your age, local kids that are playing. You see how you match up in your scores and trying to get better, when team golf starts in the fall.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. And, I do want to ask you a little bit about your own playing a little bit. I know in the summer, we talked about a little bit last week, you're competing on the senior tour and some of these golf events around the Amarillo area. Just talk to me a little bit about that. And I'm curious, too, as kind of a follow-up question to that, how do you feel like, still playing, still getting out on the course yourself and competing at this level helps you when it comes time to be a coach?
Well, I will say that, a lot of the really successful golf coaches that have good programs, most of them are good players themselves. Like I just got through Viston out there a while ago with the coach from Argyle, Nathan Moses. Nathan is a exceptional person. I mean, he's battling cancer. He's defeated it. He's an excellent player. Used to be an assistant pro. And when you've got the knowledge and the skill level to carry over, to kids and to show them, what you need to do or how you need to do it, that only makes your team stronger. When you're able to, dictate and show them, how to hit a certain shot, you can, you can set as an example, of how to hit a cut shot, a fade, or draw, whatever. When you can demonstrate it and show it to them, and they feel more confident in listening to you, vice versa, that, if you don't play or you can't hit it, they're just like, well, it's hard for me to listen to someone, that they can't back up what they say.
Right.
I'm kind of like old Lee Trevino. Old Lee once said, unless you can beat me, I'm not taking no lessons from you. That's Lee Trevino's famous saying. But yeah, it helps. It's an advantage. I've played competitive golf for a long time throughout my career, and I'm on the senior side of it now, and I'm not after to compete against those flat bellies. Those young kids, I don't care if they weigh 150 pounds. If they can play a little bit, they can definitely knock it out there deep. And my days of hitting deep are pretty much over, but I can still get it around pretty good for a 63-year-old man. I won the Street Toyota last year. I shot 7 under in that tournament for 2 days, and this past summer already, I got second in the Michelob, and I actually got second in the Tall Tower. I actually was leading it the first day and ended up getting second behind Noble Watson, that used to be a golf pro at Tascosa. And so it's been a good summer. I'm getting ready to play in the Budweiser next week with Daniel Higgins. Daniel, I'd say Daniel, being 65 years of age, I think he's the best player at 65. And he finished 10th overall in the Tall Tower last week. So that's pretty big.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, I'm going to have to stop it there. We are running out of time. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining us on Sports Drive today. We'll be right back to wrap things up after the break.